I'm gonna wait until we get some viewers, and then I'll start talking about the questions. And I will introduce you to the people.
Okay, my mic's almost done, so.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna wait until we have viewers.
Just the way she says it, it's just like, I got a man. Like,
I know.
She just kind of says it like she's like thinking it over. She's like, I got a man? Yeah, I got a man.
Nah, do I? Yeah, no, I do. I really
And
do.
then he says it like, you have herpes. I want to have it.
He's like, oh, you a hoe then. It's like, no, I got a man.
Okay.
That's like her answer for everything, obviously.
What is this? She's a hoe? Or is
No, it's that she got a man.
she got a man. Okay.
She got
I bet
it,
you in mid- I bet you in mid-
she's not interested in my rap.
I bet you in middle school, they're like, please name all the PRT elements. I got a man. She just sits there. What's 2 + 2? I got a man.
Okay.
I got a sugar daddy.
Yeah, see,
I got it. We know you have a man. We get it.
It shows that you're commenting as my page, but I only have 2 admins, and one of them is standing right here, so I know who you are. Hi, Maya. How did work go? I got 1 viewer. We're gonna keep going with this for a second until I get a couple.
I'm just gonna put my lash line on.
Okay. I'm waiting on my special guest. She is finishing her face.
Oh, there's something behind me. It's an error.
My special guest is putting her face on, so. I have another guest. He's my live audience. I have a live audience. Madison, Maya says show her your tits.
No.
She says no.
But thank you for asking.
But thank you for asking. Oh look, I have 2 viewers. Drew's here. Good. This live feed's going straight to hell. Oh darn. What a shame. Maya's upset.
Why?
Because you won't show her your tits.
Oh well.
Maya, you already saw my tits. Isn't that good enough?
Is she not coming this evening?
She might be. Maya, are you coming to the show? Tia says hi.
Yeah.
He says hi, Tia.
Where's my bag? I just gotta wash my hands off.
Okay.
Go roast.
Alright, so Madison technically is my special guest today, but it's the personality behind Madison.
The person.
The person behind Madison that is
Human
going to
being.
be answering. Well, right now Madison's a human being, so...
No, Madison is an entity. She is a goddess, and she is someone to worship.
No.
There's a church named after her, actually, downtown. Used to be a crack house.
Drew, I'm not answering that question because we haven't started yet, first of all. Secondly, fuck you. I love you. So while I'm waiting for my special guest, my page has its first hater. I'm kind of proud of that. Honestly, kind of proud of the fact that this is only episode 2 and we haven't started with the questions yet, and I already have a hater who's telling me I am a sin. I love it. No, right? Okay, so without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, my special guest, the person that is Madison Wayne.
Move over, please.
Get
Please move over.
your hobbit foot on. What did you do?
I have zero idea. What is on my foot?
The hell is that? This is from her foot. What the hell? Hello. Okay, this is Madison Wayne, technically. Alright.
Always.
So, welcome to episode 2.
Thank you, Dr. Phil.
You're welcome.
So nice to be on this program.
You're welcome.
Took a lot. Are you serious?
You wiped it on me.
Oh my freaking god.
Welcome to the what are you doing? The tea with me, Michael, and my special guest, Miss
Me,
Madison Wayne,
Oprah Winfrey,
aka my actual boyfriend,
aka Oprah Winfrey. Oh, my neck.
All right. So I had asked you guys originally to send me some questions to answer on this live feed. We don't have a lot of viewers right now, so we're not going to do live questions as of just yet. Maya, really? The fuck?
He is so gay. Thank you, Maya. I appreciate that.
I wasn't this gay until I met her.
Yes.
So, I wasn't.
Real homo.
No, that's you.
Anyway,
I was helping you move your house and you were really like this all day.
I'm here.
Alright, so I had you guys send in some questions. I wrote them down because I got them in messages. So we're going to address those one at a time. I think let's start. The first one I got, which actually is really important with anybody that's trans at all. The first question that we're going to address is, what are the most important things to know about the transition process? A good question. The transition process, honestly, the most important thing to know, I think, is to take time. You have to take time to reflect on yourself and make sure this is definitely something you want to do, because it's not something that you can just up and decide one day. There are side effects. There are things that are going to change that you won't be able to get back. So this is definitely something you want to sit and think about in deep thought. And I mean, I came out originally in 2010. I wasn't out publicly, but I didn't start hormones until 2014. So that's just, yeah, it's a lot of time to reflect. What?
I'm just listening.
I mean, you can answer on this too.
I can't. I don't really have the right, do I?
I mean, it's almost like when you decide to come out as gay. Like, there's a lot of things you have to take into account as to how and when and...
Yes. I would say those are the same. But there's a lot more that goes on there.
Like I said, there's a lot of side effects. Like, right now, I've been on tea for a year and a half, a year and 7 months. Honestly, if I stopped tea right now, it would be very slow, but it would still be here. My voice might change slightly, but it's not going to go back to what it was, ever. So, and it's a lot to do too. Like, it would affect me mentally quite a bit. Just the whole process. Hi, Shannon. Feel free to ask questions during this process. You guys can ask Madison questions.
Next question.
At any time,
Unless
too.
you're not done, because obviously I don't want to rush you.
Bitch, I will smack you.
I don't want to rush you. This is your important things.
It is an important thing, so why did you ask me if I was done?
I was just curious.
I actually just discussed your question. That question was actually submitted. No, that was your mom actually asked that question.
Yep.
I have one.
I want to be the interviewer.
You're interviewing? Okay.
What are those? How did you decide on Michael?
I did refuse to answer yours. I decided on the name Michael because actually, with what my parents told me when I was younger, they had names picked out as if I was going to be a boy. They were going to call me Michael James. Was actually going to be my name. I decided on Michael John because my father's name is John. He's actually really supportive. So that's how I chose Michael. The name's actually really important. It should be something that you feel fits you.
Well, it's going to be your name forever, so sounds like an important thing.
Yeah.
Not like picking a drag name you can change every 5 seconds,
Yeah.
which is something I know people do. What do you tell a child who says they don't know what they are, what you are? So addressing them as a boy or a girl, correct?
Yes, that was actually a question. They wanted to remain anonymous, I think, so I'm not going to mention names. They are a teacher in a school, and they said they had a 6-year-old in their class that said they don't know what they are. And the child dresses very tomboyish, and they associate with boy toys and boy activities, and, which, first of all, I don't like that. I think any activity is unisex. Clothing is unisex, clearly. I think...
Are you reading me for my daytime realness?
Yes.
My sweatshirt and my makeup shorts?
No, I meant you wear dresses.
Yes, I do. Very good. You're so smart.
Shut up. Honestly, with kids,
He went to school.
that's a tough topic. I think the best thing to do is approach the child. Honestly, at 6 years old, I can't say anything because I started noticing things at 5. So
About yourself?
yes.
Like what?
Well, I remember my dad said that he remembers when I was 5, about 4 or 5 years old, my mom made me wear a communion dress and a little thing on my head. And the first thing I did after she got done dressing me was I ran into my room and I put on my cleats and I grabbed my mitt and told my dad that we were going to go out and play baseball in a communion dress, which my mother was not happy about.
That dress is why you shouldn't have done that. You also shouldn't wear after Labor Day. Shouldn't have done that either.
It's a communion dress.
Also, you were wearing a dress. Shouldn't have done that either. I'm just saying.
Okay. So
I'm supportive.
You're very supportive, thank you. I think the best way to approach that, because honestly, like I said, I started noticing those things. Another thing I noticed, my dad told me, I asked him at one point when I was going to be able to shave, and he told me I couldn't. Clearly, he was wrong. I think just be, supportive. Don't force anything on them. Don't force them to act girly. Let them do what they want to do. If they tell you they want to be addressed a certain way, just respect it. If, like I said, big if, because this is the thing, people say that being trans is a thing, it's a phase. If it is a phase, they will stop doing that. If it's not, you'll know because they'll keep going with it and they'll just live their life that way. Thoughts, sir? You're not Madison right now.
Not yet. I don't have my hats on.
Thoughts on this question?
Well, Jerry, you're on Jerry Springer now. I keep changing the name of the show.
Maury.
Maury? No, we're not on Maury.
That's a man, Maury.
Mm-hmm.
That was for B.
Is B on here? You don't
She
know.
probably will be. She's a word.
Well, I mean,
I will have lesbians on here. I would love to have a lesbian on here. Any takers?
Aw.
Any takers?
Hey, I was trying to answer the question.
Answer the question.
I'm a special guest. I'm getting paid $100,000 for this. Anyway, and a new car. I mean, I think that for children, I think that's the place where you want to start instilling the values that the future needs to have. So, I mean, so for a child who says, oh, everyone says I dress like a girl, I dress like a boy, or I dress like this, I dress like that, it's important, I think, to instill the fact that the labelless attitude on them. You know, especially with kids asking, like, coming home from school and being like, I don't know if they're a boy or a girl. And you're like, well, does it really matter?
They can be
like,
whatever they want to be.
ask them, like, find out. But, like, don't assume.
Yeah.
Because it makes an ass out of you and you.
I had this.
Not me, you. You're the
You.
ass.
Oh, okay. You. I had, on this topic, I had at one point when I was teaching martial arts, I had a little girl. She was very open about everything. And at that point, I was still, like, really early in my transition, so I had to use the ladies' room. And she...
Oh, that's the second
Yeah,
question.
the next question.
Haha, I went right into it. Woo!
They saw me go into the ladies' room because at the point I had to keep using that. I wasn't public there yet. And she came in and yelled at me. She's like, "You're a boy. You shouldn't be in here." And I started talking to her a little bit, and I had to explain to her that I was born a woman. And then before I was out publicly, this little 5-year-old went, "And then you decided to be a boy?" And I was like, "Yes, I did." So that's technically the first public person I came out to was a 5-year-old. She started telling me about this little boy in her school. And this just goes to show you where you have to be careful with the values that you instill in your children, because she said he's very pretty, he's got really long hair, and he likes to paint his nails, but he's kind of queer, and I don't like it. And I was like, child, you're 5. Where the hell did you learn that?
Isn't it obvious? Sesame Street.
Absolutely. Sesame Street, which teaches people about queers.
Bert and Ernie, bitch.
Well, yeah.
You're Bert. You are Bert. Oh my god, can we do a Bert and Ernie number?
Okay, we'll do
You're
Bert.
totally Bert. There's Bert.
That makes you Ernie.
That's fine. I got a rubber ducky. Fuck you.
Okay.
Do you want me to ask you another question?
This actually leads into the next one, so.
Well, we're just on a roll here, aren't we? Yeah, well, look at that. So, does T...
No, don't worry about it.
How do you approach this with your children? We just
With
answered
your
that.
children.
With my children?
Yes.
Well, I don't have babies.
This is asked by someone.
I don't know nothing about birthing no babies.
This is asked by someone who has kids, who is thinking about.
So how do you approach it with your like if your children were trans or if
No.
your children were asking about trans people?
These two questions were actually asked by the same person. They are thinking that they are trans.
The person's thinking they're trans?
Yes.
Got it.
And they have kids.
Oh,
So I'm not sure how they are out right now. So she has kids.
Okay.
That she gave birth to. They're her kids.
and she believes that she may be coming out.
Yes.
And she'll have to tell them.
Her and her girlfriend have already discussed this, and that's where it leads into the next question, actually,
Okay.
is her girlfriend's concerned. She wants to know how she would approach this with her own kids, as telling them how she is identifying. I think it depends on how, first of all, how you've raised your kids, as to how open and everything they're going to be. Secondly, how old they are, because kids aren't the problem. Kids aren't a problem. They don't judge. Kids don't judge.
When they're young.
It's not until you teach them hate and judgment that they start doing that. So,
Or they just learn from the world around them.
yeah. Like I said, I relate to a lot of my personal experience. I had students that I taught the age group 4 to 10. One of my students was 8, and he asked me what if I wanted to be, how I wanted to be identified. I said, why do I have to call you Mister now? And I explained to him because I thought, when I was born, I felt like I was given the wrong body, and I'm just trying to become the man that I thought I was inside originally. And of course, with the kids, you have to word things differently sometimes. His response was, "Oh, that makes sense," and then left it at that and called me Mr. and Sir from then on. So, I mean, it depends a lot.
Well, Maury. Now we're on Maury. What? Is someone saying things?
Technically, it's Drew. Drew said, "I think if you can get Madison pregnant, then you can tell your kids."
I'm gonna give you a big NO there, buddy.
Technically, Madison and MJ have 3 kids already.
Oh,
So.
fucking hell. My vagina is so stretched out. I would say for that question, that's very valid. I mean, like you said, put it in their language is a good one. Like if they're younger, like you just have to, kind of play it off as, there was an accident or a mistake and I'm correcting it kind of thing. You could even use the analogy I use with you, the prince and the princess. Like for kids that love everyone, who doesn't love Disney? No one, that's who. That's probably, that's the analogy I would probably use. Is that it'll be like it's like a princess cursed in a prince's body or vice versa.
Actually, I had a parent of one of my students who, the little girl was little, asked about me, and she said, "Well, honey, you know how sometimes when you're coloring and you're coloring books and you get a marker and it says it's purple, but when you go to draw with it, it comes out pink, and you're sitting there like, man, I really wish this marker could be purple, and then you can fix it. It's an easy fix." That's kind of how they're feeling right now.
That's very good. Yeah, I like that analogy too.
And the little girl was like, "Oh my God, that's horrible!" And then she was like, "We need to fix it." So tell the kids the way that they'll understand.
Yeah, and if they're older, it's a whole different story. Because,
If they're older, then it becomes complicated.
Well, it's not necessarily complicated. It's just going to depend on how they were raised. Like some kids are going to be totally fine with it. It's just the same thing with coming out to your parents, coming out to your siblings, or coming out to whatever. It's some people are going to be fine with it. Some people are going to have a major issue with it. Some people are going to grow from it. Some people are going to cut you from it. But does it really matter in the end as long as you're being your true self? That's the problem. That's the question.
Yeah.
Excuse me. You can't read these. It's mine.
I wrote them.
Does tea affect your moods? Does it, MJ? Does it? I don't know. Does it?
I will smack you.
Does it?
This was actually asked by the same person. Their girlfriend, their concern right now is their kids, but the girlfriend's concern is
Starting testosterone.
if starting testosterone is going to affect her moods, or their moods, excuse me. If it's going to affect their moods, if it's going to make them have anger issues, if it's going to make them, I can see you. If
I'm
it's-
just watching you.
if it's going to
explain this.
affect like mood swings. Best way I can explain it is kind of like menstruation. When you're PMSing, essentially the same thing.
just go. It's menopause. For you, for
yes,
right,
no, I know,
extent.
I know, but when you go through your period, you get moody.
Right, but that
get angry.
I'm saying as not as an analogy, as like what's actually happening to your body, and
Right.
that's why.
Right.
Like that's what we use, at least what he uses with me. That's
I'm
how he
going through
explains it.
menopause.
Right. It like if you have to think about it, when you first, like, for people who maybe forgot that talk in high school or middle school,
Elementary school now.
whatever, I can't keep up. You know, it's like puberty. When you hit puberty in your tweens or your, you know, whenever you hit it, you know, that's when your body starts producing the hormones at, you know, their correct levels, and they start really hitting you, and that's when you go through your changes.
Yeah.
And your, you know, body changes. So when you're introducing those hormones back into your system, but they're the hormones that aren't naturally produced necessarily, you're going through a second puberty. And that's what I'm noticing with him off to the side, is it's just like second puberty.
I think it's been a little bit different with me because this is technically the fourth puberty I've gone to right now.
Well, that's what you explain.
I started differently, and this is a question we're going to address at the end. I started on gel, which for some reason my body fought really hard, so I ended up going through first puberty ever, you know, the first one I went through. When I started tea, I went through a second puberty, a boy puberty, where things started to change, things stopped, they stopped, you know, hormones stopped producing, and things shut down inside of my body. So I essentially was going through menopause, and then going through, of course, the mood swings that a normal teenage boy would experience. Then my body fought it. I went back through the other puberty and started things again, and here I am now. So I mean, I don't know, I mean, you can help me with this. When a teenage boy goes through puberty, there's a lot of angst. There's a lot of anger, a lot of unexplained anger, a lot of emotions that they experience, correct?
Mm-hmm. I get to go through them twice. Yay!
Yeah, so, I mean, you're going to go through the same thing. It's the same thing with girls, too, and I will at some point have a trans woman on here to explain the other view.
Oh, that's a great question. How do you handle that? How do you handle them?
Personally, I try, and I say try, because sometimes he doesn't let me, to rant to the person that is closest to me right now. Sometimes he does not let me, and then that has some detrimental side effects. I try to we try to be open. If I'm experiencing something, he's always told me, come talk to me, because it helps just to get it off your chest and they don't have to worry about it.
And I guess the moral of the story is you can only do your best to handle it, because no matter what, they're going to come. And
I do agree to an extent. Somebody at some point said it's not the tea. You can't blame the tea. To an extent, yes, you can't blame the tea, because it's enhancing your natural emotions.
It's just turning up the volume of what you already have.
It's turning up the volume of what you already have. But I don't agree with that either, because the tea is going to enhance a lot, and it is going to make you angry. It is going to make you angry. It is going to make you emotional. It's going to make you moody. Especially if you start the shots. Towards the end of that period where you need your shot again, you are going to be depressed. You're going to feel down. And the same thing. And for anybody that's thinking about starting tea, you are going to be extremely angry at some points. You're going to be extremely depressed, and you're always going to be very horny. I'm just going to point that out there right now, as a warning.
Thank you, Justin, for your question. How does your moods affect your relationship, and how do I handle that? Well, like we said, it's puberty. So a lot of times I have a teenage boy in the house. Let's put it that way. It's what I already went through. So for the most part, I know what to do. Does it mean I want to constantly have to do it? No. But that's part of the communication process of it, and dating a trans person, is that you signed up for it to an extent.
Hi, Kaylee.
As long as both of you are understanding about it, like you have to know that it's not going to constantly always work out. Like, you're always going to have tension or friction in some fight, shape, or form. So I wouldn't.
Right.
Hello, goodbye. So I wouldn't. I wouldn't think, oh, I can handle this. We'll be together forever. It's fine. Everything's gonna be great. We're never gonna fight. It's fuck that shit. Like, what are you talking about? Who are you?
6 months. We made it 6 months.
Exactly. But there's
and then that fight.
We
it was
fight.
fun.
It happens. It's just gonna happen.
Can I ask the next one? I want to ask the next one.
Okay, what's the next one?
How do you and Madison have sex?
Get off me.
Come back.
Oh, Jesus Christ, what pervert did
You
that?
have sex with your fan?
Shh, I love your hat.
I am his fan, so.
Are you doing, what is it called? Our Races Not Tragedies?
Thank you.
You
That's
should
part of the
with that
reason why I'm with him.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Right now?
Well, how the fuck do you have sex?
Exactly. And I said I would answer these questions because it is.
It's the question we get a lot.
Yes, it is a question we get a lot. And it is a question that's on people's minds because they don't understand. I don't think there's...
Is it any of your goddamn business? Not really.
I think they ask it because they don't understand and they are trying to understand. They're not trying to be rude.
No, they're not being rude, but, would you go up to a straight person? Now, excuse me, how do you like to fuck?
I mean...
Just, would you, but just, if you just met somebody, because I feel like this question happens when they just meet you.
Yeah.
And it's like, would you do that to a straight couple, or, a gay couple, a cis gay couple you meet, would you do that? I don't think so. And that's where the annoyance comes in of this question. Not that it's not valid, it's just, why do you think it's okay to ask it when you've just met me?
There are, though, when people are rude about it, I don't get mad at them. I don't get mad. I'm not going to yell at them and tell them, don't ask me that question. But if they're rude about it, I'll turn it into a joke.
Mm-hmm.
The whole, and people in school used to come up to me and be like, when a man and a woman really like each other. So I'll do that and just be like, it's essentially the same thing. You got I'll make a joke out of it. And they're like, oh, okay, this is not something I ask.
And it's preference. Some people don't want to use certain things. Some people want to use certain. It just depends.
Some trans men are very uncomfortable with their bottom parts, and they don't want you to go near it. So you have to respect that. Other trans people are very comfortable with what they have, and they love when you do that. Okay, fine, but still don't. Unless you're going down there, it's none of your business.
Exactly. Unless you want to pay for that business. I like money. I like money. Anyway, differences between... This is your question. Question for Alex Trebek over here. Difference between...
Wait, hang on.
Yes.
Was it hard for Madison adjusting to sex with a trans person versus a cis person?
No. No.
Yes, a little bit at first.
It was... Bitch, shut your mouth.
It was awkward.
It was not as bad as you probably think. Can I have that?
Yeah,
There was with anything, I think, with... Oh my god, get that away from me. No.
That's how you have sex.
There's a it's okay, so there's a learning curve, but it just depends on the human being. And we were talking about this in the car. Some gay men only want to have a D in the bedroom, and that's totally their preference. That's not a problem. It's not an issue. Some men may only want to have a trans man in the bedroom, and as long as they're not just sexualizing it and creating a fetish out of it, that's totally a valid interest,
right,
and something they are wanting. Some people don't give a rat's ass because usually they're too tired anyway to do anything, so what does it matter? What does it matter? I'd rather eat a sandwich. I'm a very fat man.
One of the things I would like to point out too, if you're with a man who's been on T for a while, their body is not the same as a woman's. I'm just going to point that out.
Things do
now.
change, and some people have surgeries, some people opt not to have surgeries, and like I said, it just depends on getting your brains to connect and just connect and connect.
My hair, damn it.
You care about your hair more than I do.
It's something that a lot of trans men care about, okay?
Yeah.
Respect it.
Anyway, okay, now you go. Now this is all you, Sparky.
The difference between T-gel and the testosterone shots.
I get to shoot him with the shots, which is fun, and
nice.
I enjoy that thoroughly, getting a stab.
First of all, as far as I know, there are 3 options for testosterone. One clearly being the shot. That is the most known method. Number two, I started on a gel. It's a gel. It's called Testum. They also have Androgel that you can. Oh, hi, Adam. That you can rub on your arms. We also have now. They have. It's like a deodorant. It's a tea gel that comes with like a stick of deodorant. Every day you put it on your arms. Then of course you have to let it dry, so you're walking around the house like this for a while. But there are 3 different options. I started on the gel, and I think this all depends on your the way that your body develops. I was very slow at developing anyway with puberty. I didn't go through puberty technically until like high school. I didn't start that until like my sophomore year in high school. So, shut up. Mister, I had a beard in elementary school.
I did.
So it depends on your
I'm
body.
Italian.
The gel, so am I, bitch. The gel was very slow with me personally. So again, my body fought it. I had a very high T level for a long time, and then ironically enough, when I met him, my T levels dropped and cut in half.
The fuck is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. I just
Yeah,
wanted to
that's
blame
what I
you.
thought.
Did you have enough testosterone for both of you?
Bill Nye the Science Guy.
He was stealing my manliness.
Science rules.
So I mean, the gel, it depends on your body. I personally would suggest the shots for certain things that you want. Yeah, Italians. The shots I've heard, and this is all just studies. There's nothing is proven. Okay, so don't take my word as like science. There are studies that show that the shots help with facial hair growth quicker. They help with muscular growth quicker for the transitioning of the muscles to go from the legs to the shoulders, like broadening. The shots help with that much quicker, so it says, or supposedly. The gel supposedly helps with a more natural puberty, so the voice drops more naturally because you're getting a steady injection of hormones like you would when you go through puberty normally. So that's the study that's going on now. What I have noticed is people that around me have started with the shots. They have a light, they have a deep tone voice, but it has like almost this like helium sounding like undertone to it. It has still has like a higher octave of sound, like of a sound.
I ain't saying nothing about that.
I mean, you know several trans people, so
They can come after you for saying their voices too.
I'm not saying anything about how it sounds. I'm just saying that the way that, because you're getting a bigger dose at one time, it
Your voice
affects it
sounds like
differently.
marshmallows.
Which is also why you get the facial hair quicker, because it's just throwing a bunch of testosterone and your body doesn't know how to react
I
to it.
want to put it on a fire. It makes more sense.
Personally, I've liked the shots a little
I
bit
feel like you're
better.
taking this very seriously.
I am taking it seriously.
Serious,
I want
actually.
to light yourself on fire. What? Anyway, hey, I have a question.
What?
Do you have to take testosterone to be a trans person?
Not
Or a trans
necessarily.
man, estrogen for trans women?
Not necessarily. You can identify as trans and choose not to.
Right.
Under testosterone.
Because it's your own goddamn body. You do what the fuck you want.
My only thing is make sure I keep saying make sure you know. Don't just come out and be like, hey, I'm trans, if you haven't had time to actually sit down and think.
And I will say, because I did this for you when you were having your ups and downs with your levels, there are natural ways to boost and block hormones. Broccoli is actually an estrogen blocker. So you best believe if you
I love
are
broccoli.
looking, and tuna.
Eat so much sushi.
Okay, yes, sushi. Strawberries is a
Bananas are a natural testosterone.
Bananas are huge.
booster.
Iron is a
Zinc.
zinc. Excuse me, it's zinc. Zinc is a what am I looking for?
Testosterone
Vitamin, testosterone. I was looking for the name of it, but whatever.
Supplement.
Yeah. So I mean, you can literally just put those things into a smoothie, blend it up, and make smoothies instead of having to spend the. If you don't want to go the full way to do
Right.
shots, there's other methods, and I would highly recommend, if you're still thinking about all this, to look it up.
There are people too who identify as trans that have not gone through hormone therapy who have had top surgery.
I know one that hasn't done top surgery, and he never will. He's a musician, Ryan Casada. Actually, wait, no, he's had top surgery. He will never do hormones. That was it. He was never going to take testosterone.
I mean, and it's
And
his
that's
choice.
exactly it.
The only thing I do, and I fight it because it bothers me just because I feel like I don't want you to go through the stage where you're like, I don't know and I might regret it, is when you just up and announce, hey, I'm going to start hormones. okay, that's great, but have you actually sat down and taken the time to think about what the hormones are going to do to you? That's my thing. Like, don't just jump into taking hormones. Because, like I said, there are going to be side effects that are irreversible. And you don't want to do that to yourself.
We missed a question. Justin had a question. Justin asked, when you started your transition or when you began transitioning, did you ever think you would fall for a man?
I did not. I dated men originally when I was a straight female. And then I skipped my lesbian phase. I went straight from straight female to trans man who was straight, because I then identified as a straight man and dated women. Honestly, the thought of dating a man made me sick for the longest time because...
It still makes you sick.
It does, actually.
He throws up every time.
I do. As soon as all this comes off, it's just like, I'm just kidding. I love him. Stop staring at me.
I will make you into a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket.
Okay.
You guys are making me hungry.
I'm so hungry. It's not even funny. And I already had like 2 dinners.
You're making me blank.
Sorry.
I didn't know. I honestly, and it's just me because I think I was fighting so hard for so long to be a man. I think that the thought of me actually still liking men disgusted me because I was trying so hard to become one. And somehow I felt that if I liked them, I was less of the man that I was trying to become. But that actually is another study. Another study shows that if you start testosterone, a lot of people become gay. So,
I think that's it for questions.
Yeah, are you afraid of some stuff that you may be putting on your body?
Are you afraid of the tea, I guess?
No, I'm not afraid of it. It's natural. It's gonna happen.
Anyway.
You both shut right up as soon as I walked in the door.
We're speaking about trans people and you come walking in.
Well,
so.
anyway, we're gonna wrap this up, I think, because unfortunately we do have a drag show to put on, and I have to actually become a woman.
Yeah.
You don't know my day.
So, like I said, continue to send me questions. I will answer more. I'm gonna have another...
Me.
You can also send Madison questions.
If you have questions about dating,
Yes. Send Madison questions.
you can't date him.
She is constantly...
Unless you're paying.
She's always around, so even if she's not my special guest, I can pull her aside from time to time.
I'm always around because I have no life, and I just sit here waiting for his things. Madison, why Michael, his lack of personality and sense of fashion? Oh, because I like to... See, I am a giver. I am a charity. I love to give to charity cases, like this little munchkin.
And I have
so
a
I love to dress him because he can't do it himself. I love to try and get his personality to shine through because it's hard. It's a struggle every day. So he's just such a little munchkin, little petunia.
And I have a text to prove it. I'm gorgeous.
No.
Yeah, I have the
Shut
text
up.
to prove it.
Shut up.
Get out of here. So
All right.
send questions. You can ask Madison questions, and she will let me know so I can address them, or we can address them. I'm gonna have
When
another.
do I get the car? When do I get the $100,000?
You don't.
When do I get the booking fee?
You don't.
All right, I'm leaving. Bye.
Oh,
I ruined everything.
you ruined
oh, no.
my life on a daily basis.
Okay, well, I'm gonna put my body on tech. Bye.
Can I talk,
I'm
please?
saying goodbye. I'm saying goodbye so you can talk.
Okay.
Goodbye.
If you have questions about just in general anything else, like I said, open to anything, let me know. You can send me a message. You can comment on this video or any post that I put up. You can also send, I have another admin. Her name is Drew Summers. If you're friends with her, send her a message as well. You can message the page. They are both admins, and they will let me know what is going on if I don't see it.
If you
So-
want to know any secrets about Michael, you can text me or Drew. We know a lot of shit.
I know some shit.
If you pay us, we'll tell anything. We'll spill the real tea.
I will have a special guest again next week. I don't know who it is yet. My special guest for this week has kind of, not been able to be here. So I'm gonna find another special guest for next week, and I will see you later. Bye. Wow.